My older sister vanished without a trace, but that was just the beginning. I was 14 when my older sister Molly vanished. She was 22, just out of college, working part-time at a bookstore and still living at home while she figured out her next move. One night she said she was going to a friend's birthday dinner and never came back. Her phone last pinged a mile from the restaurant, then nothing. It was like she fell off the face of the earth. The cops searched, dogs tracked her scent to a bus stop and then lost it. My parents were destroyed. Mom joined all those online missing persons groups. Dad barely talked. Over time, people whispered maybe she ran off, maybe she'd been depressed and we hadn't noticed, or maybe something worse. No ransom, no body, no proof of anything. After a few years, the flyers faded off telephone poles and we had a memorial service with an empty urn. But I never stopped wondering. Fast forward 12 years, I'm 26, engaged, working in logistics, and at a client warehouse in a different city when I swear I see her, Molly, or someone who looks exactly like her, loading boxes into a truck. I followed her, heart pounding, waited till she was alone, and called out her name. She froze, turned, and my stomach dropped. It was her, older, thinner, a little more worn down, but definitely Molly. She looked terrified, told me to leave, and when I said, "Mom thinks you're dead," she started crying. We met the next day, and she told me everything. The friend's birthday had actually been a date with her professor from college. Turns out they'd been having a secret relationship, and she'd been planning to leave town with him. But when she tried to break it off that night, he snapped. He hit her, took her to some rural property he owned, and kept her there for 3 years, isolated and totally dependent. She said she finally escaped one night when he passed out drunk, and she found an old key hidden in a drawer. She never went to the police because she didn't think they'd believe her. He was wealthy, respected, and had threatened her family constantly. She changed her name, moved across the country, worked under the table jobs, and lived in hostels. When I found her, she was living in a tiny apartment with no windows and barely scraping by. I convinced her to come home, but when we finally went to the police, they didn't arrest him. Not right away. His lawyer painted her as unstable, possibly mentally ill, and said there was no proof. But then, here's the twist. She remembered a burner phone he used to take creepy photos of her and hide them in a floor vent. We went back to the property, which he'd abandoned, and dug around for hours, and by some miracle, we found it. The photos were enough. He's in prison now. Molly lives with me and my wife. She's in therapy, learning to drive again. Some nights she wakes up screaming, but every morning she drinks her coffee on the porch, and I think she made it. She's alive.